welcome back to MNSU IEEE Podcast. I'm Selena.
I'm Yabsir.
And we're here with our guest,
Francis Mpanga. I'm the project coordinator for IEEE.
Well, it's very nice to have you on.
Yes,
Yep,
thank
thank
you
you
so much for joining us.
Yeah, this is our 6th podcast episode, and we're excited to have you.
Yeah, thank you for hosting me.
Do you want to go more into like what you do in IEEE and what you...
Yeah, so for IEEE, I'm the project coordinator. My role is to take care of all the academic events that happen, so the workshops, and then also I'm in charge of like some of like the events that do happen, like the Get to Know Your Instructor event, where we have professors come in to talk about their journey and their experience through being a student to like being an instructor and beyond, and also we get to learn from them, and that is my major role in IEEE.
Those are very great events. I feel a lot of people don't are missing out because they get to see their instructors like in a different lens, and it gives you a good understanding, I believe. So tell us more about your background, like where you're from and everything.
Yeah, so I'm from Uganda. I'm the third college student to attend college in the US in my family. I've been doing electrical engineering for 3 years. I'm a junior now, so getting there, but it's been tough. And at the beginning, I was a CIT major and, switched over to a really
Good switch.
hard.
Interesting.
Yeah.
How hard was it to change? Was it in your first semester? Or?
I mean, it was in my second semester.
Okay.
Yeah, it was in my second semester. I think it was in my third though, because I took like the basic classes like the physics, the math.
Yeah.
But then one of my siblings told me like, oh, try taking a circuits class, and I'm like, I didn't want to do it, but then they just registered it for me like anyway, and so like I just took the class, and then I failed the first exam. Like, yeah, it was.
That's okay.
Yeah. It was kind of like IEEE 106, like the.
So you took IEEE 106.
Yeah.
So we took that together.
Yeah.
And you were a CIT major.
Yeah, I was a CIT major at that time.
I didn't know they took that class.
No, it was like I was doing CIT, but then she was like, "Oh, you should try like taking like an electrical engineering class. You might like it."
Your first semester.
Yeah.
Okay.
So so I was like, "Oh, I didn't want to do it," but then she's like, "Oh, take it." So I take it, but then I get to like, because we had like the first exam, and we had only like 2 pages in my book, so I was like, oh, this is gonna be easy. Like, we only have 2 pages. Like, I know like what's gonna happen. But he had like I guess 1 question with like 6 parts, and if you fail the first part, everything down is wrong.
Yeah.
And he has no mercy. So I didn't know the first part. So I failed the first exam, and I was like, what am I doing here? So kind of feeling.
But how was the build up? Because now you're in junior. You're doing good.
Mm-hmm.
How did you do that? How did you get better at it? Like, what approach did you take?
Yeah, I mean, to me, like, it sort of made me realize, like, oh, I need to, like, take a step back, like, make sure that, I practice more instead of, like, oh, it's only 2 pages. Like, I already know this in my head. Let me just, go for it.
Yeah.
So kind of like that. And then, try to, like, consult with them or show up and then say, like, oh, what did I do wrong here and how should I be better? And then like the other exams, I pretty much, I think, got 100 in most of them. So it was pretty nice. Like, I did pass the class, but the first exam gave me like that sort of career shock while entering into electrical engineering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what happened to me with 106. The first exam, I got like 50% or something. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe, like, what do I put myself into? And then I heard about, like, in class, he was just like, this is the class average. And I was on below the average, but close. And then, like, these are the resources I encourage you to go through, like, studying like this, going to MathPass. And, yeah, it was very helpful to ask other people. For me, that was the thing, like, asking people that already took the class, how should I approach this? But that was, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, like, when I first started college, I did not struggle with 106 at all. Like, that just made sense to me in my brain, but this is gonna sound so stupid, but Calc 1, I hated Calc 1. That I'd put some of the blame on my teacher. I hated my teacher, but like when I came to college, that's when I actually had to learn. I had to learn how to study, because I don't know if you had this in high school, probably, but like I never had to actually try in high school. I never actually had to study. I never did any homework outside of school. I always just did my homework during class or something, and I never had to put in any effort actually at home to like actually learn the material. And I was doing just fine. I had straight A's. I had a 4.0. And so then when I actually came to college and I was actually not understanding something and actually struggling, I was like, I've never done this before.
That's very interesting, because for me, it was the opposite.
Really?
I feel like during my high school time, I was like, I mastered the way to study. Like I wouldn't say master, but it didn't like come, well, math came naturally. But the other class, in my high school, I had to take biology, chemistry, everything like that. And I was like, I used to struggle a lot.
Really?
Yeah, but I feel like at the end, around junior year of high school, I just got into this rhythm. Like I take a class, I go home, like study a little about it, especially if it's new. And that really helped me out. And when I came to college, like I just brought that here and I didn't struggle. Maybe with 106, I said, maybe the course, because it was like a little different for me. Because
it's your first semester taking college classes too.
Yeah.
That's in itself is a huge
Exactly,
shock.
yeah. But it was funny because that's the opposite for me. But
did you study in high school?
Yeah. So for me, it has been more of like, in high school, it was more of like preparing at the last minute. So I think I'm really good at like days before like the exam, I like fully lock in and like focus.
Yeah.
And then I think I capture like most of the content. And so in most cases, like I'll go and do fairly good, like even somehow better than the people who are like reading over like a long period of time.
You're really good at cramming.
So yeah, I think I'm pretty good at that. So in most cases, like if there is an exam happening, like 2 days from now, I fully lock in and then, like internalize. But then some of the time, I've gotten like out of that phase whereby I'm like, let's put in the work week by week before the exam, and let's like try to manage and practice and do everything over and over. But I have failed. I can't do your way either way. Like
you can't.
It's not simple.
It's but the thing is that wouldn't work in college, I believe. Or either you're gonna be like so stressed, but like studying last minute for an exam.
No, yeah.
Because even doing assignments, you got to study. Like,
well, okay. I am taking an art history class this semester.
No,
it's my my higher level humanities in the same discipline as my lower levels humanities, which I took a art history class my senior year of high school, and they counted that. And so I'm taking this class, and it's a 400 level art history class. So it's a bunch of art people, and then it's me, Natty, and Issa too.
Okay.
We're all taking the class. I wasn't expecting them to be in it, but we took our first exam not last Monday, but the Monday before. I took it, and I've never had a teacher give us a study guide. I was like, oh, okay, like I need to study more than just a study guide, because like what if they try to trick us or something, or like this is like we did so many other things than just this, like there needs to be more. So then like I studied more than just the study guide. And then she was like, yeah, like I'll ask you like a question like this, and it was like, what's the meaning behind this art? I go, okay, so like I need to know like the meaning behind like all of this art. And then so I had all that ready, I had all of my notes ready, I knew everything. And then I like got the test. She showed a picture of I think it was like 7 pieces up on the board. Okay, what's the name of this? Where was it found? And at what time was it made? I was like, oh my gosh, like that's it? That's it? And then okay, there's a backside. There's one essay question. What is the meaning behind one of the art pieces? I was doing the exam. I was like, there's no way this is it. Like, is this like the first page, and then she's gonna give us the second page? Like, where, like, is this like the first half?
That's so funny.
Like, is there like a take home part? Like, I was so, like, I turned it in, and I was like, I've never taken an exam that easy. And I was like, where, like, I either like completely flunked that, or like I just got like 100% because it was so easy, and I've never had an exam that easy.
Yeah, that makes sense. But that's an art class. I feel like artists, there's no like a right or wrong. It's just more like feeling.
It blew my mind.
I feel like maybe I don't know why even they need to take like history, but there's a benefit to it.
Mm-hmm.
But as an artist, it's like you just create art. What's wrong and right.
Yeah.
For engineering or other fields, you gotta know. Like
Yeah.
maybe that's it, but
Mm-hmm.
that's interesting. So you said you were CIT first.
Yeah, I was
So
CIT.
tell us like how you chose that, because I was gonna ask how did you choose electrical engineering when you were in high school, but how did you chose that and how you transitioned?
Yeah, I chose that because out of high school, in my vacation, I did a computer programming course. So it was HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. It was completely new to me, so I had to like practice and learn something completely new. But I kind of like loved it. Like, I was doing like front end, like designing websites. And, when you design something really cool and you've taken like a bunch of time and energy into it, feels amazing. So when I like came here, I was like, oh, that is something that I should be doing. So yeah, I took CIS 115 because when I was trying to register for CIS 121, I think one of the professors, Professor Rashid Dev, was like, oh, you shouldn't do this class, do that class before. So, I had no idea, so everyone was taking like 121. I started from 115. So that kind of like delays you back.
Oh,
kind
okay.
of. Yeah. But again, I transitioned through that. I did love like coding in Python and stuff. So it was kind of like my thing, in a sense.
Yeah, but how did you go from that to electrical engineering, not even computer engineering?
Yeah. I think to me, probably one of like the biggest like things that made me made that switch like concrete for me was like taking that first like EE class and then failing it. And I'm a very competitive person. It's like if I lose once, I'm like super competitive to make sure that I'm going to like follow through and do everything right. So it made me realize like, oh, I should become better and be good at this. And the more that I tried to, and the more I kind of like started loving it. So, when I took circuits, I was like, oh, this is fascinating. I like it, but most people didn't, kind of a thing. So it just became, I just got like a passion for it more and more, got to love it and, kept on taking more classes and more classes. Yeah, and then I got frustrated with labs. And
There's a girl in my sorority, her name's Claire, and her studying tip for like motivation of like doing good in your class is to make an enemy. So if you make an enemy, like you have to show up to every class, because if you show up to class and your enemy is not there, you just won. Or like if you don't show up to class and your enemy did, they just won. Or like if you do better on an exam than this random enemy, you just won. Versus like if your enemy does better on the exam than you, like you just lost, and you don't want to be a loser. So like that's her studying tip.
Yeah, I mean, to
and
me,
I've used it.
Exactly. So to me, like, even during like that semester and even up to like now, there are people in my classes whereby I'm like, I want to be like these people. We are almost at the same level. So I am competing against those people. So I'm like, I need to be there like every single class. I need to put in the exact same amount of time. I need to pass the classes as compared.
I don't know. I completely disagree with that. I completely disagree. I feel like that just takes you down like a negative route, because you just gotta be above them. So if they get lower and you're like normal, you don't push yourself.
That's why you gotta pick a good enemy.
But even if it is,
don't pick the person that's gonna withdraw from class. You gotta pick like Natty.
I get it, but it's like externalizing it. Even if you put in 100% and you got like a good score, you wouldn't be happy because that person got better. If it's gonna work, and if it's gonna like, obviously if it worked for you, it worked for both of you, you get a good grade at the end, you're happy. But during that process, you're like competing against this person that has like no effect in your life. I mean, me personally, I do not have. It's not the same even, but I don't agree.
I think it's just meant to be like a motivator. Like I'm not gonna fight this person.
I understand
if they do better than me.
Yeah.
But it's not like putting it to an extreme. Even having it a little, I feel like, I don't know. I don't know if it's.
Yeah. I mean, to me, it's more of like, I mean, there are various ways of how to get motivation, depending. But like, this is more of like you're trying to like because I mean the world is a competitive world.
It is.
In terms
It
of like
is.
the field. So it's like, if you're like your company is doing this and the other company is doing that, you're still like kind of like competing.
Yes.
But here in a school mentality, it's more of like if you're competing against like the best, people in your class, you're like, oh, this guy, he's really good. Like, how does he get to understand these things, and where am I not getting it? Like, what do I learn from him? So it's kind of like that kind of mindset where I'm like,
well, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. Where obviously, if someone's doing better than you, got to ask them like, oh, what are some tips? And I support that. I always do that. But like at the end, when I get the grade, that's it. I don't care. Like I don't want to see anyone's grade. I just have my grade. This is like I improved or I didn't improve. This is where I lacked, and that's it. Like I don't. I feel satisfied if I got like a good score and I worked hard for it. I don't see other people's grades. So
Yeah.
I don't know if how much it worked for you.
Yeah, that is to agree to disagree.
But I might try it. Maybe Francis is gonna be my. Because Francis is the top scorer, so if you have him, you gotta be.
An alternative version that she said was to make a class crush.
I mean, that is
So you could go down that route too if you want.
No, yeah, but I mean, in most cases, like you're like, oh, I did like mid in this class, but when like probably like 4 or 5 people in your class are like going down. Like the average is gonna be like, you're like, okay.
I'm not preying on their downfall or
I
anything.
get it. But I feel like it gets easier to go down that route, where if you're comparing
if
your
you're
grades.
that type of person.
Okay.
Wow.
Maybe.
We see who you are.
I don't know what you're implying here.
Okay, so Francis, looking back on you being EE versus CIT, do you like your decision? Are you glad that you switched? Would you go back and change it at all?
Oh, I don't think I would go back and change it at all. I mean, as I have like grown through EE, I realized like, I like programming and stuff, but it's not something that I like want to like absolutely do in a sense. So I do imagine myself like, programming is cool, but do I see myself like sitting down and like all that I do is like programming completely?
Okay.
I kind of don't see like that mindset of like doing like websites or just like IT related stuff.
Yeah.
I saw myself after a while realizing like, oh, I possibly, want to work in like power and energy or just like automation and controls. Yeah. So I saw myself like going that route.
Yeah, because there's a lot of subfields of electrical engineering, and that's what's so great about it is that something that I'm doing in power and energy is completely 100% different than someone that's in radio frequency or in the fabrication lab, and those are all using different techniques from so many different of the classes that we've taken over our 4 years, that like we're all taking the same major classes, but we're all using them differently.
Yeah, that is very interesting. Because there's so many IEEE societies as well in our Rising Star conference. I was surprised, like it's in a lot of
What's
things.
it, like 54 different IEEE?
Yeah. Even in the career fair, if you saw them on their tables, like I talked to like 10, and I was like, what is IEEE doing in here? But obviously it makes sense when they talk about it, like how electrical engineering is in that, how it affects it. And it's like for the betterment of human, like knowledge, advancement. Yeah. So it's like you see it and you can go into any field that you love and, prosper.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you had to go back to freshman year and you had to pick a different major that's not CIT or EE, no CE either, what would you pick?
Interesting. That's an interesting question.
Yeah, I mean, since I was young, one of like the fields that I would have wanted to get into was accounting.
Wow.
Yeah.
I did not expect that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, I sort of like I had someone who was like a kind of like a role model, and he was like doing accounting and finance. So I was like, oh, that sounds pretty cool. But then I go into high school, and then I'm like, oh, that's not like something that I want to do. But like I found it still fun that I took it at like an advanced level, and I loved like handling like books of accounts. Like I could do like the like the tables and like the balance sheets and stuff. And I do it easily, like compared to like any of the other people, and I enjoy it. But most people don't like it, kind of. So it's kind of like like a field that I.
What you should be our treasurer next year.
Yeah.
That'd be great for you.
Yeah, it was pretty fun looking back. But at the same time, I realized like I mean I can easily like apply it anywhere. I didn't see it like as a career field that I would get to like make change or like do something huge with it. Yep.
What would yours be?
You answer and then I'll go. I have to think about mine.
Yeah, I was thinking about mine. My minor is economics, but I don't think I would choose it as like a major.
I think I would just do like math and just have a math degree, and I could see myself being like a math teacher, like a professor in like college. I don't think I have enough patience to do it in like a high school or elementary setting, but I think I have enough patience to do it in a college level. To be a math teacher. I could teach Calc 1 all day. Yeah.
Interesting. What about, can I choose mechanical engineering? I would choose that.
No, because if I could choose mechanical engineering, I would choose
Yeah,
mechanical engineering.
it's very close.
But I would still choose electrical over mechanical. But if I had to take electrical out of the picture, then I would choose mechanical.
I would choose economics probably, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I thought at first I wouldn't, but now that I think about it, I don't want to be like a doctor in medical field. Or like a biologist.
I would hate to be a doctor so much.
I mean, to me, like at first, like even like some people in like my family are like, oh, consider doing that. But then to me, I'm like, I don't have the stability to like, I guess, hold a knife. Like,
yeah, I'm too shaky.
Yeah, I'm too shaky. So
it's all my monsters I drink.
Yeah.
Monsters.
I don't think I could get ready for those exams, like reading all those pages for like medical, like if you see nursing students or medical students getting ready for an exam, they got to read like all these pages.
How is that any different than the exams that we do though?
Well, you don't have to even read. You just got to do problems in that topic. That's it. Like that's what I do for studying. I just look at the topic. Okay, what kind of different problems are there? You got to find this, you got to find this, you got to find this, and I just do all of them. That works. Like that has worked for me all the time. Sometimes I get it wrong if I didn't see a different angle, but
yeah, I think I just have a bad like outlook on it of like, oh yeah, I could kill being a nurse and like I could kill their exams, but they couldn't kill my exams.
True.
But I don't even kill my own exams, so if I'm gonna be real.
Yeah, I mean, to me, probably the other major would be aviation. I couldn't do it.
Interesting. I forgot.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I changed it. I changed my mind.
That's really expensive. They have to pay for their own labs. It's like $40K.
Okay, yeah, I changed my mind now. You said $40K a semester?
Yes.
A
year? They have to pay for a semester. Because they have to pay for their flying time.
That's insane. So that's like what?
Like
$200,000.
Yes,
close
literally.
to $200,000.
Yes.
Oh my
I have
God.
multiple friends that are aviation majors, and it's a lot.
You know,
Yeah.
if I find
You
out
really
you're-
have to be committed.
If I found out you're in an aviation major, I know that you're loaded, like, or you're in debt.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So, I know that you are involved in very different like student clubs. Tell us about how that has helped you become like a better engineer or a better person, or how you manage that. Tell us about your experience.
Yeah, the first leadership position I've had was in student government. I was a assistant senator. So I had one of my friends who was like, oh, they kept on talking like, oh, I'm a senator, I do this, I do that. I knew they kept on talking about it, and I'm like, why can't I do this? So I just like sign up and I get voted into like power. And so, I'm like, probably, this is going to be like an easy thing to do, and like, I don't need to do much. And, someone has already done it whom I know. I'm like, I should do this. But it was tough doing it. It was tough. I had to like go to like deans and like talk to them, like chairs and stuff. I didn't know them like on a normal basis. So it was like going up firsthand and like introducing yourself, writing various emails, and doing all kinds of like collaborations. And then probably one of like the scariest moments was I had to like present in front of like that whole room, plus it's being live streamed on like YouTube and stuff. So you have to prepare you have to, it's like your first time. You're like, how am I gonna do? Like, how am I gonna, what should I say? What should I not say? It was like super stressful, like presenting that first time. Yeah, but kind of crazy. But I'm really grateful for the experience though, cause I got to know a lot of like cool people and like professors, deans. So to me, like right now, I could like go to like some of the deans or like professors and like, oh, they already know who I am. Like if I was to go and ask for something, it's much more easier and they will listen to. And probably one of the benefits was
public speaking.
Yeah, public speaking was one of them, but like I was behind, like as an EE major coming in. So one of like my resolutions was make some of the courses that be taken in both semesters. And so I went to like Dr. Wu and I was like, oh, you should offer this class next semester because there are more students who want to take it. And so that put me on track, and I was like super happy about that.
Nice.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I kind of used my position to my advantage in a sense. So yeah, that was pretty cool.
Okay, and then aren't you also in other clubs? Are you
In NSBE,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, so I've been that senator for student government, and then I was secretary for math club. I didn't really need to do anything for that. Show up to meetings, write a bunch of things, and yeah, not too much there. And then I was in I was for NSBE. I became the senator for like our chapter across like other chapters. And the way I came across that position was someone saw me in student government and they were like, oh, you're in EE and you're active. So like saw me and he's like, oh, you have to become the senator. I want you on like, the next board. And I was like, okay, yeah, I can do that. So
What's so funny? Last year I was talking to him, to E, and he was like, I was asking him what position should I run for NSBE, like what's open. And I saw like all these like different open positions, and I was like, you know what, I'll try to be senator. And then he's like, actually there's another candidate. And I was like, oh, there is? Okay. So I was gonna ask him, but he was like, yeah, I believe that they're really competent and everything. I was like, oh, okay.
He just called you not competent.
I guess. But you know me, I'm not too competitive. So I was like, oh, okay, yeah, for sure. And then I saw his friends. Oh, it makes sense. So.
Yeah, I will never forget when we were both running for webmaster.
Yeah.
I did my presentation, and then I think you did yours, and then Natty came over to me. And he goes, "Yeah, like he doesn't want to be webmaster anymore."
Well, the thing is that day, I saw her presentation, and I was like, she could definitely help the club more than me. But I was like,
just say you were intimidated. It's fine.
I was not intimidated, but I asked him, and then I asked Nate, like, will Selena be interested in another position? Because even it's not like it doesn't have to be social media. If you bring that energy into the club, it's the same. I don't think I should have would be better in his social media. I'm a student outreach. We're doing this and everything, and he was like, nope, she's only gonna do social media. And I was like, you know what? I'll just change. I'll just concede. And I'll take that. That's how it went. I wasn't intimidated, but she had a better presentation.
Yeah, I mean, I think to me, Nachi was like a really good leader in that sense, because creating like the positions and making sure everything fits where it is.
Yeah, it's so great to see like our club. It's running so smoothly.
I know.
If you look at other clubs, it's just it from NSBE too. It's like shaky.
Well, and I think that's funny that you say that because. This club compared to like my sorority runs a tight ship. Okay, so like everything, like if you have a chair or like you're on executive board, like exactly like what you are supposed to be doing when, and it is like exactly written out for you. So like IEEE compared to that is a little bit more like loosey goosey, but I like it because then you have more freedom with your events, and we can do stuff that we haven't done before.
Yeah.
So. Well,
that comes with our major too, don't you think? Because a lot of people in, I don't know about your sorority, but I feel like I don't think a lot of us have that much time to spare here in EE.
Yeah, because a lot of with my sorority, you're just getting girls from any major, and so there is another girl that is engineering, and so we both understand the time commitment part of that. But she was on the executive board, which is one of the most time commitment heavy roles. And so like it just comes back to like time management, not of like, oh, like you're an engineering major, you can't be on the board because you won't have enough time. It just comes down to like actually like you doing it yourself,
like
and actually doing
like
it.
Beza, for example.
Yeah.
She does so much.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like she just, when she updates me about like the finances and everything, I'm like,
It's
damn,
like an entire list of what
how
you've
did that
done
happen? She's like, I
actually.
did that, I did that, I did that. I'm like, oh, thank God
Like,
we
you
have.
have the same 7 days as me. Are you sure you don't have 8 days in your week? I don't know.
Yeah.
8 days, 25 hours.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like the way Nati runs, like everything that he has to do and everything is
Yeah.
involved in. You're
And he's a
like,
double major. And
Exactly.
he's in other clubs. And he's like a math pass
leader, yeah.
And he, oh my gosh, I'm like,
Yeah, good
Yeah.
good
okay,
inspiration.
Dad, does he sleep at night? Well, he said
He
that
told us he sleeps 8 to 10 hours a
Yes.
night.
I'm like, how do you sleep more than me?
yeah, how I do.
Listen, I was surprised. I'm still surprised. I don't know how he's making that work.
How many hours do you sleep at night?
7, 8.
Yeah,
around
I'm
there,
on the
so
I'm on
pretty good.
like the 7 to 8 right now.
I think I slept like 6 hours.
Last
6
night?
to 7, yeah. Yeah. I was trying to avoid that, but I sleep for 6 or 7 hours. I don't get 8 hours of sleep.
If
think.
if I only get 6 hours, I'm a complete like.
Well, that's why I drink the coffee. I drink so much coffee because I don't know.
I'm still in a bad mood. I like, and I like need my sleep. Or like if I am hungry, I need like to get food.
Yeah.
If you.
Oh,
are,
with food, yeah, I'm like that too.
Like I just shut down. I'm like, and I
need-
just like snap at people. I'm like, I don't care about your feelings.
Yeah.
I just want food right now.
Yeah, but I think it's because I work and everything, and like, but yeah, I'm trying to fix that. I think 8 hours of sleep is good, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is good because I mean, for me, like right now, like if I don't sleep too much, then whoever I'm working with or around me, I'm more, I guess, rude sometimes. And, you know, I'm like,
We
I'm like, kind of like, I'm gonna say whatever I'm going to say, like whatever comes to mind. I
No
don't
filter?
think about it. Yeah, no filter. Just like, yeah, I'm gonna say that.
Interesting.
Yeah,
But
like-
before we move on from the leadership thing, like being part of the student government, I feel like if you're part of it, like for someone that's part of it and like being active, I feel like it teaches you a lot about working for something like better than you and like other than you. Obviously, when you're putting in time studying, it's for you. But when you're putting in time, for example, when we're doing this podcast or like we're doing this event that we're like meeting, and it's like, I mean, it is for you because you have this vision that you want to achieve, but it gives you like maybe when you're like, well, it wouldn't work for work but if you're like volunteering, for example, outside of work for your community, and I feel like it gives you a good way to live. I feel like it's a good way to live where you're like trying to support others and everything, living for something other than yourself.
Okay, I got into an entire conversation and argument about this with my cousin. Even I believe that even if you are volunteering and you don't get anything out of it, you are still getting something out of it,
Yes.
and you're doing it for yourself.
Yes. But also, when you're getting something for yourself, other people are still getting benefits.
Yeah.
So I feel like you should see, obviously you're not getting forced, you're not being a slave to it, but with you getting that satisfaction, there's someone on the other end having a better experience. Maybe with the career fair that we're having, someone like we're putting in the work, doing everything, but someone gets an internship there. It's like, even if you get like satisfaction doing it, you're still helping that person. So I mean, I don't think it's completely selfless, but it's still beneficial to the, like, it's a net positive to the world. But if let's say we put in less hours doing all this thing, there's like less people getting benefits. So it gives you like, I feel like I believe it gives you a good standing in life where you're benefiting others, you're doing something for yourself. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that before we move on from that topic.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of feels good, like when you do something and it's like beyond like yourself and you're like, oh, I'm doing this, and yeah, you're doing more than you're supposed to do, but like, you're helping people like get something or gain something, which is kind of the same mentality that I'm having as like, I'm trying to prepare people to go to like the national convention for NSBE. So kind of like, even if like my other board members or anyone else is not doing that, but let me do that to make sure like the other students or people get an opportunity to like go to that.
Yeah, it's
Right.
very
Yeah.
inspiring. He's always helping me with that too. So, yeah, but that's good. So, Francis, what type of roles or like which industry are you interested in getting into? We like obviously we're in EE. We talked about how we can get into like a lot of different things. What's your interest?
Yeah, I mean, the number one thing would be power and energy.
Okay.
Like, I see myself like working there in terms of more like renewable energy. So just being an engineer in that, possibly part of the programming, but not really. So just like projects and stuff, depending on that. Contrast is something else that I've seen like come up. But I mean, I am like halfway in between because of like the PLC kind of scares me a little bit. I'm like, oh,
Okay.
how is that going to be?
I'm taking a PLC class right now. I love it. I love it so much. It is so straightforward, and I feel like there's like little things that I don't understand of like Bhushan will be like, okay, like make this type of system where this happens. And I'm like, oh, and me and Michael take like 45 minutes to figure it out. But the second that you figure it out, it just feels so good. I love my PLC class. And like as an electrical engineer at NEDEC, I'm not going to be using PLC. That's more on the control side. But I am so glad that I'm taking this class.
Yeah.
So you have to look for that class. Next spring, take it.
Yeah, I will definitely. So yeah, I'm trying to like take that class. So I'm kind of like super interested in those two fields, depending. And then also, I mean, it's still power, but like anything that leans into like transmission lines, anything like electricity and in buildings and stuff. So kind of like civil and electric in between. Yeah. But one of the things I haven't seen myself doing yet that is super complicated is RF. I don't know, something is just doesn't click with me and RF.
Yeah, but we didn't really get into it in any of our classes so far.
Communications?
But communication, we're starting, but
Are you taking that this semester?
Yeah.
Oh.
we're both taking it, and we're both also taking electromagnetics.
Mhm.
And Dr. Wu actually just asked us like last week
Yeah.
if anyone is interested, and a lot of people are interested in RF. But I feel
Really?
like I've heard from engineers, even Joel, when he was in his internship, he was telling me there's a very high demand. We're looking for RF and interns, but
Well, I feel like there's a high demand for any electrical strain.
yeah,
Like, this is a booming
It
major,
is.
and it's so good.
yeah.
I'm-
There's a lot of like power demands coming up. A lot of
With
compute.
data centers.
Yeah, compute power.
Crazy.
Yeah. So it's
Mhm.
like you're building the building blocks of whatever, like any infrastructure. It's gonna need power. It's gonna need
Mhm.
compute.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
But it was funny when he asked that question. He said, this year it's not being offered because no one was interested in it.
Yeah, no one in my class was interested in it. He goes, okay, is anyone interested in RF? No one raised their hand. He goes, it's a great major. Like, it's not a major, but it's a great field.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of jobs for it. And we were just like, I'm
Mm.
good.
Yeah, it was surprising. I asked him in the end of our class. I was like, so how should we reach out? I was interested in it too.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, you're interested? And then he was like, who else is interested? And I looked back and everyone's just raising their hands.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Good for you guys. My class.
I
no.
mean, to me, it's like people raising their hands was like, there are some people whom they call like influencers kind of thing. Like if they're gonna like take a certain class, then in most cases they're gonna like influence
So
other
you
kinds
started
of
the
people to
trend.
like.
Well, I
know?
didn't. Well,
You're a
someone,
trendsetter.
Someone
someone. I think it was
else.
Marcus. He asked someone else, "Are you gonna like take it?"
Who's Marcus?
I think he works
He's
Works in
in.
the office.
He
Oh.
works in Dr. Wu's office. He's
Marcus
in.
Bedner?
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
so. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like dark hair,
Yeah.
glasses.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't wear glasses.
No, it's his name. That's his name.
Okay.
But he doesn't. I've never seen him with. But he just asked him, and I just looked back. I'm gonna take it. I'm definitely gonna take because RF. There's the high demand in RF, and I just said that we were just across class, and he was like, yeah. Well, he's gonna ask us today. Maybe that's I don't know. Maybe that's it. But yeah, I'm happy. We're gonna take that because there's like a minimum amount of people that. Need
Yeah,
to,
it's like 8 people.
Yeah.
Because I know they were trying. Well, they did. They did it successfully last summer. Tiara specifically wanted to run engineering economics over the summer online because if you take it in person, you have to take it with Winstead. And I really wanted to take it online because then you could take it with Shirk. I think like 14 people took it online, but I did not take it because I really wanted to take it online, but I was working 60 hours a week between 2 jobs, and I figured that I was
60
not.
hours?
Yeah, I figured I was not going to have enough time for class on top of that, and like exams, and like for their exams they had to have their camera on and like everything around them at a scheduled time, versus all the online classes that I've done over the summer. It's been like on your own time, like, okay, it's open from Thursday at midnight until Sunday at midnight. Take the exam when you can. Yeah. So I just did not have enough time for it. I would have liked to take it, but I couldn't.
Yeah. I mean, to me, the other class would be, I would have wanted to, like, one of the classes I wrote down was, like, power electronics. And then when he wrote it down, and then when he put the professor, I kind of like, what? He put, like, Dr. Winstead. I was like, okay. But,
yeah.
It's still an
Winstead
interesting
does
class.
powers.
But
Yeah, but I feel like I might take that class. I'm not that much into power, but like the way Professor Winstead challenges you, it's. I feel like at the end of it, you'll learn something. You'll learn.
Yeah, I don't know. I have a hard time taking a Winstead class. I was supposed to take powers this semester, but then I dropped it. I unregistered from it on the first day of the class just because it was a problem with my credits. So. On the first day of class, I did not want to go to powers, which started on Tuesday, but I needed an EE elective. And when I'm on the 2022 catalog, because that's when I started class, and so the PLC class wasn't a class then, and so technically it doesn't count as my last EE credit. So then I talked to Jenny. I was like, oh, like, can this count for it? And she goes, yes, I just have to override it. I go, okay, perfect. So then I have my 1 EE credit. I go, okay, perfect. I can drop from powers. But then if I do that, then I drop to 9 credits, and now I'm not a full-time student. And so then I didn't want to be ineligible for my scholarship.
Mm-hmm.
So then I had an email. His name's Tim Smith.
yeah.
The only Smith
Selena
I've
Smith.
met that's not related to me. It's crazy. I emailed him, and I was like, oh, like, do I have to be at full-time status for my last semester to be eligible for this scholarship? And he emails back, yes, you do. And I go, what about if it's my last semester? He goes, let me check. I go, okay. And then I was like, okay, well, I don't want to take powers, and I need to be at full-time status. So then for about like 4 hours, I was registered for another art class, a second art class. And it was like print and silk screen making, just something fun. Something like I can like have fun with, and like it's just something.
Was
to
it the
do.
art class that you talked about?
No, that's a different art class.
Okay,
So I
okay.
would have been taking 2 art classes.
Okay.
And then I was debating just taking like a college algebra completely online asynchronous one, and then just like speed running it in one night. I was gonna see how that went, but then there was full.
Oh
Shoot.
no.
And then I was looking for classes while I was looking for the art one, and there was EE internship. I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't have an internship. I have like an actual job. Like, do you think that'll work? And so that I talked it with Jenny. She was like, yeah, like go talk to Ryan Shirk. Like, he's the one that's in charge of it. I go, oh my gosh. So I ran down his office because it's 3:40. Everyone's leaving for the day. Talk to him. He goes, okay, yeah, you fill out this form, you give it back to me. I give you this form, you give it to your supervisor. He fills it out, give it back to me. And then once I approve that, then you can register for the class. I'm like, okay. Last day to register for classes is on Friday. And so I like filled out the form, gave it back to him, took his form, gave it to my supervisor, got it back, sent it to him on Wednesday, and then he reviewed it. And then on Thursday, he goes, okay, you can sign up for the class now. I'm like, oh, thankfully. So then I'm at 12 credits this semester, and 3 of the credits are kind of fake.
Oh,
But
that struggle is just scary. It's just sometimes
yeah, but I was
just like a credit you can't find.
I know,
Yeah.
but the weight off my chest of
Yes.
not having a Winstead class this semester is actually amazing.
Oh, so are you like part of like honors? Like, isn't Tim Smith like one of like the honors staff?
So he's for my scholarship. It's the presidential scholarship,
Oh, that
and
one.
so he's in charge of that.
Oh, you got that
Yeah.
scholarship? Oh,
Mhm.
amazing! Congrats.
So you're in honors, right?
Yeah.
Tell us about that. Your experience in there. Like, what do you do, or what is it?
Oh, So I took honors. I was invited to join honors after like my first year. So I took like honors 201. I mean, taking that class, like, there was only like one other person who I knew in the class. So I was kind of like intimidated because I didn't know like anyone else like out of like kind of like my major. So kind of had to like like open up and like just like talk to people. So I think honors is more like kind of a place whereby you get to like write about kind of stuff and then learn, because there are like those three competencies that you need to learn and like sort of like fulfill. So kind of like, oh, like you need to like do like leadership stuff and research. So yeah, I kind of like, oh, was also leaning towards that, and then also the intercultural engagement. So it's a kind of like a nice kind of like extra class to have. Like it's only one credit, you get to do fun stuff. It's like no stress most of the time. And then you also get to like do like a website about yourself and how you present yourself, and yeah, which is pretty cool.
That's interesting. I always wonder. I didn't take that class, but I'm regretting it now.
Well, it's a lot more work too. It's not just
Yeah.
like
Yeah, but
Yeah.
there's different benefits if you're going out of the state to like different conferences. They like fund you a little, help
Yeah.
you out with finances. So that definitely would have helped. So, I got a quick, easy question for you. Where do you see like opportunities in electrical engineering going in 5 years or the future?
Yeah. To me, I see opportunities going towards possibly the number one field. I would say power, but I'm going to say communication systems.
Yeah.
Kind of again like the RF world, because in terms of like, yes, there is, let's say, AI, and yes, you're gonna need more power, but like, what kind of like electronics and stuff are you going to have to like power all that? So you're gonna need like way more stronger electronics, and electronics which can handle like that kind of like data and magnitude.
Mhm.
So that is gonna like open up big. And then also power, still the same thing, like, oh, we are still going to require more power to like power up stuff. And then also like most buildings and most societies are trying to upgrade what kind of power they have, in terms of like, oh, we have like, we were running on like coal or whatever. They're trying to like implement like, how do we spend less, like, you know, have like motion lights and things like that. So there's going to still need for like advancement there, and people are going to like still invest in that and pay for that and try to like get better there. I think this would come to mind. I don't know what else.
I feel like that makes sense. Makes a lot of sense, especially with the power. That makes a lot of sense because even now, the grid. I've heard, like, I've seen a lot of like news articles about how like America's grid is very like old. You know,
Yeah,
it
it
needs
is.
improvement. Especially, it's not about. It's not. I think about the power generation, but the transmission. There's a lot of work to be done there, but especially now with more demand, more things sucking and like needing like energy.
Do you want to stay in America long term, or do you want to like go back?
Um, to me, like personally, it just depends, because I just want to like know that I'm possibly like working for like a really good company. So even if it's not here in the States, but like a good company that whereby you know, I'm still like working in my field, and I'm like pretty like up there trying to like go through like the ladder stuff, and like, you know, become a better engineer. So if it is like a big company and they're like, oh, you know, work in Europe or work home, I would take that, because my whole emphasis is more of like, I want to be like a really good engineer and like work on various projects and just do like a bunch of stuff all together. But then if, you know, an opportunity presented itself, you know, I would still have to stay.
Yeah.
That's nice. Well, as we are closing up our episode with you, I would I have a question. You talked a little about it earlier, about like, what would you tell your like freshman self, like an advice, just like a sentence, just like a specific thing like about with like that's related to your college experience,
Yeah.
like overall, not just classes, about student life and everything.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a really good, interesting question. Possibly one of the things I
You
would
should
say,
get closer.
one of the things that I would say is, yeah, that's a really tough question.
Do you want me to go first so you have time to think?
Yeah.
I mean, I can kind of mention one thing. If I had like joined like organizations that could help me like way earlier, like in terms of like had like mentors and people whom I knew in higher classes, let's say like in terms of like NSBE and IEEE. So I kind of like joined those late in more of like my sophomore year towards the end, and then I get to meet like Yash and like other interesting people like Nati and other ones. I feel like that would have helped like to like make my journey go easier and like get advice from them. Yeah, you can go as I'm thinking. Mo?
I would tell her to learn how to say no. When I was a freshman and a sophomore, I just overloaded my plate. I just like, oh yeah, I can do that. Yeah, I can do that. Yeah, I can do that. And then like I was never had any time for any homework. I never had any time for any studying. And like I was just saying yes to all of these things of like, yeah, I can go out tonight. Yeah, I can go get breakfast tomorrow. I can take that extra responsibility. And it was just like I never had time for actual school. So that was hard to like, okay, no, like I need to know like my boundaries of like, okay, I need to have set time for school. I need to have set time for homework of like, I can't actually skip a class 3 weeks in a row.
Did you do it?
I don't want to
Yeah.
answer that question.
Looks like she did.
Yeah.
Okay, but it was an easy class.
Exposed. You have been exposed.
What about you?
For me, I don't know actually. I feel like I've made like I'm satisfied with most of my decisions about like I feel like I haven't really like backed down from a challenge. Like I've been faced with different challenges and I've like went at it and like gone past it, like school stuff, financial stuff, career stuff, but I would tell myself like don't be afraid, like you're not competent enough to like do this, like believe in yourself more. And yeah, that's what I would say, like definitely believe in your competence, like believe that you can do it, and yeah, don't be afraid to make decisions.
Yeah.
That's what I would say.
Okay.
So
You got yours now?
Yeah, I couldn't think of anything major, but then I think I would say is try to like reach out more and be more open. So kind of like be like open and like communicative about like things and just like fully share like who you are and what kind of personality you are. Because to me, I think most of the time, like I'm always like locked in most cases. So I kind of like sometimes when like let's say someone I'm like in a class or trying to go for a class, I'm like fully locked in. I'm like, oh, we are gonna do this and this is what I need to learn. This is what I need to do outside of the class. So when someone like talks to me, I'm like point blank. I always have like the blankest statement because I'm locked in my head. I'm like, oh, I need to do this. I need to do that. So kind of like just be more open, take things, I guess, like chill out a little bit.
I feel like that's a very, very good advice because a lot of people, they're just like stuck in the class thing. Like you have your sorority thing that like forces you to go out and then like, do other stuff.
Yeah.
Which you enjoy or it takes time. But if you're just completely inside of your like courses or your assignments,
like your own bubble. That's exactly why I joined my sorority. Yeah.
Exactly. You can create like this big bubble because you could be like talking to people. They'd be like, oh, you're an engineer. I bet that's hard. And then that enforces you to like, yeah, it's very hard. I'm always studying. And then you just like create a bigger bubble where you're like just studying, doing this and that. But yeah, I completely support that. What's it called? What do people say for voting? And I support that message,
I endorse.
that. It just came to my mind for some reason. I don't know.
We are MNSU actually, and we endorse
that message. Yes. Be open in your engineering degree.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Francis, for joining us. It was great to chat with you and get your insight on a lot of engineering topics.
Yeah, thank you for hosting me.
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
You guys are doing a great job, so thank you.
Thank you.